Hey guys, welcome on back to the Anchorage, and I bought a new webcam. Guess which one? That one. This one. So why don't we talk about that today on List Quest? Yeah, what do you mean? What these people stinking think that I went out and I bought a new webcam? All right, welcome back to this next exhilarating episode of List Quest. So, thank you for coming along. I went out and I bought a new webcam, which happens to be this one. This guy here is on brand. And, get my glasses here real quick. Let's read about it a little bit. Yeah, I'm going half blind, so don't worry about me. So on brand, up to Ultra HD 2160p video resolution, 4K webcam with a 6-foot cable. All right, let's look at the specs on the back. It says up to 2160p, okay, and that's at 25 frames per second. Up to 1080p resolution at 30 frames per second. Okay. Auto low light correction. Okay. Autofocus, yeah, you're going to be seeing that because it'll go, on occasion. 75-degree field of view. Look at this view. It's almost my entire back wall. This is my living room. So, there we go. And let's see, customized options, including white balance and view distance on Windows only. Well, this happens to be Windows, but I don't care about that so much. Built-in dual microphones. Yeah, they're built in. It's the dual microphones. There's a microphone on either side of the lens, but I'm not using that, so there you go. Microphone frequency response. I'm not concerned about that because I'm not using the microphones. Adjustable 360 rotating base for wide or narrow monitors and screens. Talking about that, it is very good. These are just readers, by the way. But the that base there, or the stand for the camera is very good. I'll talk about that more in a second. So, all right. So let's see. Built-in privacy cover. I'll talk about that. It's built in. It's very nice. USB plug and play. Can confirm. And Windows, Mac OS, and Chrome OS compatible. And that is true. All across the board. So, regarding that compatibility, well, this is being filmed on Windows, and therefore, hello, it's doing that. Now, my concern with my previous webcam was, after so often, there would be a little blip when I'm recording. You may remember that if looking at previous videos, where the whole screen would kind of blip, and that would be it. Well, that is where signal is lost between the computer and the device. Not that big of an issue, but it happens. I don't like it. That's why I wanted to change webcams. It is still being used. I actually gave it to the other person that's living here, gave them the heads up, and they said, that's fine. And so there we go. Before that webcam, I actually had this one. And I've actually taken this one off of the computer so that I can use this one on both the Windows build and also on my Linux build. Now, that is mainly because of the compatibility. Windows and Mac, obviously. And then it said Chrome OS. What's Chrome OS? It's a Linux distro. Henceforth, whereas for 2, it works on Linux in general. So this camera works on that. So, but I replaced this one, I'm taking this one off to keep it as a backup should I ever need it. Yeah, it did fairly well, but I liked it because, it's got a lot of those same options, but I think it's stuck at 1080 or 740, I forget which. But it's got this ring light, which is good for, making my face pretty. But I don't need that anymore because I've got 2 other lights that were recommended to me by Tom over at Switch to Linux, which is, these guys. So I take these two things and I put them up on the corner of the shelf here, and I can tweak them to be white or, warm. So I've got that one on white. I've got that one kind of warm, and so I get light from both directions, and I'm prettier for it. Wouldn't you agree? But in either sense, the adjustable 360-degree rotating base. Now, that's really good because this is actually part of, the overall construction of it. And that overall construction is really good. It's got some weight to it, or heft, if you want to call it that. This is the second take, so I remember the word heft. Yeah. But that 360 base, it's really good. It's firm. It takes just a little bit of muscle. It's not like stiff at all, but it's stiff enough so that it just doesn't flop around. So it's nice and firm and holds its position very well. So that's really good. Microphone stuff, I don't worry about that so much because I'm using this guy. Let's see, the white balance and view distance, I'm not really worried about that so much, outside of being able to see my set deck or set decorations clearly, and you could say vividly or whatnot, but I want to be able to, read this. What does that say? CPT Ivan Hawk, Captain Ivan Hawk, Shadow Strike, my call sign. That is a name placard that gets plastered right underneath the cockpit of these guys, these Vipers. So yeah, that cost me $35. I've got two of them, one for each side of the boat. It's a magnet that can go on a car. So, and the entire thing is just one gigantic magnet, and you can just slap it on there, and it's nice. And I used it for a little while on the car, and I took it off. And now it's a set decoration. So it's there underneath my Battlestar. So there we go. Moving on. 75-degree field of view. That's pretty good. Yep. This is my living room. So, being my living room, it's the best place I can do this at. And I could use my bedroom if I really wanted to, but you'd see nothing but a closet door behind you. Plus, my setup is out here, not in there. But you'll also notice that, right up here is that is a map, the bottom half of a map of the 12 colonies of Cobalt. That's a Battlestar Galactica reference. And I put that up, and I put the flag of Acadia away. And I might talk about this map in a Galactic Course video. So there we go. And I wanted to make sure that, that we could see, something that's aesthetically pleasing to the videos. So why not? Yeah, my couch is right here. And you can see there's the remote to my TV. There's my tablet right over there. There's my phone. There's my coffee table. And that over there, that is a candlestick phone. That is a real candlestick phone that my grandfather converted into a lamp. So I won't talk about that, but there's a slight story to it. That's not the original one. My older brother's got the other one. So those folks will know what I'm talking about. This is the one that was in the basement. I fixed it. Never mind. Going on. Okay. So autofocus. Yeah, you'll see it go like this occasionally. Auto low light correction, I don't really have to worry about. Low light, I've got those two lights there. I've also got my tall lamp next to the computer. That's up there. And then, of course, the resolution and the frames per second. That's the big one for me. If I wag my hand, looks like it's artifacting or that it's at warp drive. I am not doing that very fast, I'm just, you can see it kind of artifacting. You can see that it's a lower frame rate. So, this is a webcam, so this is what we're going to run into with things of this sort. So, does it ruin your viewing experience? It might not. I don't know. I apologize if it does, but, if I want to have anything that's smoother, better performing, I would need an actual camera or a very high-end webcam that has very smooth video. The The thing there is that those cost a heck of a lot more than what I paid for this. Now, this is from Walmart. It's the On brand. And let's see, I bought it off the website for $34 and some change. You can certainly buy this in the store, but it's about $43. So because you have to pay for the overhead. From the website, you don't pay the overhead. So, and then when I went to go pick it up, of course, I had to go to the pickup area outside the building, park, let them know you're there, and they come out and bring it out to you. So that's what we got with that. So I already know that I get better performance with this through Jitsi on the Linux box because I tested it out, and it just performed a little better. I'm hoping it's all right on here, but the thing is that it's a webcam. It performs like a webcam, and can't really say anything more than that. With that, it if I wanted to use it on a laptop, it would be great on a laptop because, laptop cameras have gotten really good, just as good as this, stuff like that, and things of that sort. And would I be able to put a camera up? I think I could. I've got my regular video camera that I use for making videos. Right now, it's in here. Stored away. I might actually be using that very soon for my next video, which is looking a lot to be regarding that guy. Because after my recent Pi course videos, stuff like that, there was a guy on the Switch to Linux online chat, which is through Matrix. He was like, make more Pi videos. And I didn't know if he was talking to me or if he was talking to Tom. And I asked him, and I'm like, you talking about me? You're talking about Tom? I couldn't really get a direct answer on that. But I'm like, have you seen my videos? And he's like, yeah, I've seen them. I'm like, oh, okay. So I've got something, regarding this. This is the Raspberry Pi. This is my display one and the talk about example piece. I don't use it for anything. It's just sitting up here, nice and pretty. So, I might just be using this camera for when I'm sitting here, and I might grab that guy out for when I'm sitting over there. I've been trying to think about it. That's my brainstorming. I don't know, because I'll film it once I have everything put together. This is being filmed on a Saturday. It won't be coming out till the next upcoming Friday, which is nearly a week away. But there we go. Review stuff regarding this guy. All right, so what's my review on this? I'll tell you right now, it's not 5 stars. Because I don't give 5-star reviews. There's always a reason not to give 5 stars. As I'm not apologizing for it either. It's just how it is. Every single thing has something like that. But I will say this, a 4-star review is my 5-star review. Remember that. So, what is my number of stars? Well, it's Walmart's On brand, and the On brand has, to my knowledge, is known for making very good products. The ink inside of the printer right here. I'm using the On brand ink there. But because it's more or less third-party ink, of course, it has a tendency to gum up. Well, my resolution for that is I take some Scotch tape. This is gift tape, so it's the stuff that comes off easily. And I'll do my print, and then I'll just fold over the end and just put a little pull tab on it and put it over the heads to seal them back up. And then next time I go to print, just peel that off, print, stick it back on. There you go. It solves that. I've got a couple of USB sticks, such as this one. You know, the USB sticks are really good. The storage solutions, these are actually very good. And I've heard that these are made by if and or both. Was it PNY or SanDisk? Reputable companies, and these are good. I like them. There we go. I also just bought a micro SD card. Which one is it? Is it this guy? No, it's this guy. Now this is an SD card adapter, but I've got the micro SD in here, right there. It's a 64 gigabyte, which has to do with the upcoming video regarding the Raspberry Pi. This could be PNY, it could be SanDisk, I don't know. But I'm planning on using it in Folklonger 2 for a project, and I just might make a video of me doing that project. Well, I've already kind of did a little bit of that project already. I've already got software on here ready to go. I just need to start up the video and take the next step. So I'm going to put that back. So we did that. Construction, excellent, love it. You know, the privacy cover, it's good, excellent, love it. I don't need to use it because when I'm done videoing, you know, taking video and stuff like that, I unplug it. So that solves that problem. Cost, I would say it's decent. It's good. You know, it's not super high end, and because, you know, the camera is not super high end, so it works very well. What is they have? There's a lesser option camera, but it didn't say it was compatible with Chrome OS or Linux in general at all. So I decided not to buy that one. I bought this one because it, you know, it's a beefier camera. So doing that. So right off the bat, it loses that 5th star because, well, what's the reason for that? You know, like I said, everything isn't worth 5 stars. Why? This item, we're talking Walmart. End of story. All right, so is it worth 4 stars? Maybe. Is it worth 3 stars? Maybe. And that would be because of the frame rate. Strictly the frame rate. I'm being a little picky on it. So as of right now, it is definitely worth a 4 for what it is. And I do recommend it. And it is an excellent device. But because of this artifacting on this, you know, it's not necessarily smooth. If it was, it would most definitely be that 4 stars. Right now, it's teeter-tottering with the 3 because the video flow isn't smooth. The frame rate isn't high enough. It needs to be up around 50 to 60 for this resolution, which I forget what is currently set at. Let's go to the camera, go to properties, scroll down, and it says highest FPS. Ooh, it's not 60. I don't know. Let's keep recording. I'm not going to change the FPS on it just in case it stops recording. So I'm going to play with it. Might it be able to do 60? And this is from OBS. The software solution, it would have to be a software solution to get above the hardware's 30 for the maximum. Could the software allow it? I have no doubt that it would allow it. But I have to play with it to figure that out. I would think that if it does change it and does take it, that it would reduce the overall resolution and it would make this image like 25% the size and stuck in that corner. Who knows? So, yeah. So, overall, very good camera. I'm happy with it. I'll continue to use it until I get a better one, or I can afford to get a better one. Stuff like that. It works just fine. The overall quality of the image is very good. I mean, everything that doesn't move I mean, it is nice and it's crisp, even with the zoom in for the sake of the border graphic. And yeah, so there we go. It's just this movement that I don't like so much, that trailing. My hand nothing is working at warp speed. So, but of course I'm using this microphone, not using the one inside of it because I don't need to, because this one is just by nature just naturally better than the built-in ones. I would think the built-in ones would be trying to talk over the distance of a room and be a little more tinny, things of that sort. So, but that's pretty much it. So I am going to call it there. It's teeter-tottering a 3, between a 3 and a 4, somewhere in there. So as of right now, 3.5. So there we go. Thank you very much for coming along. Skál, we'll talk to you soon. Huh. All right. All right. Well, I just plugged in my old one again because I wanted to see if I could tweak a couple of things, and it's just it's better than the on-brand one. I mean, look at that. There's really no artifacting there. It's got a higher FPS, higher frame rate. And so, yeah, I am going to return it. It's already boxed back up, ready to go in here. I'm going to return this. Mainly because the my old one, it's working fine, and I'm able to tweak the settings a little better, and it's a slightly better experience. You know, I can still see everything in the background, and I can read the sign, and I can read the poster pretty well as it couldn't be, considering, you know, the screen size and the window size and everything like that. I'm going to keep with my old one. So my review for this is still the same. It's 3.5, and you know, it'll be good for whoever needs to use it, and you know, so I recommend it still, and such like that. Just that for me, for my use, it doesn't work out. So sorry, guys.